Okay, so the reason for this course is basically twofold. Um, maybe I first start by giving a little bit of my background. So during my PhD studies, a large part of my PhD studies was also computer programming. It was with regard to an ammonia laser system. We actually built the system, but also programmed how it would work. The purpose of the project was for. Okay, Ali, you're having trouble. Pardon? Which? No internet. Okay, sure. Okay, all right. Okay, okay. Oh, okay. That makes so no internet in our office. It's okay. Okay, it's probably something needs to be just reset. Okay. Did you turn on the power? Did Paula turn on the power? Okay, all right. So, okay, Ali is sort of here. Okay, so you can see him sort of. Okay. Hello, Ansari.
Hello, Professor.
Okay.
How are you?
Pretty good. Okay, now we can. Okay, good. So we have at least 3 people here. Good. So we can start. Okay. Uh, I was afraid. I was afraid Mazoon would be the only person here today. Okay. So the purpose of the course that I was just talking to Mazoon is from my background is um, I started to do computer programming when I was in high school. Actually, it was when I first started my computer programming, and in that case, we basically were using we do our computer program on cards and sent the cards in and got them back the next day. So if we had problems, we would have to redo that. So after university, I enjoyed computer programming, and for my PhD, I also did computer programming, but basically for modeling an ammonia laser. The purpose of the ammonia laser is related to uranium enrichment. Its one application is uranium enrichment, so building more dense and radioactive uranium, and the other application is for missile defense. After that, I went to Japan after I graduated, and then did again computer programming for heat transfer for high-powered laser systems. After which I then went to China and did more computer programming. So that in that case, it was for we were working with a laser system to try to could detect submarines for submarine warfare. One application. So that gives a little bit of background. Oh, hello, Carlos.
Hello, Mr. Rai.
Okay. So this gives a little bit of background of myself. So I find that computer programming is something I enjoy a lot. I also have found it to be very important for graduate students to be able to computer program fairly well. For example, my friends in Canada, which we collaborate with, have said basically if students here cannot computer program, they do not want to, they don't even say, don't bother even applying to university in Canada unless you are good at computer programming. Because no matter what you do, you need to program at least to be able to handle your data. You need to be able to write programs. Okay, turn off. Okay, good. Everybody's got their mic off. That's good. All right. So that is the one of the reasons why I'm trying to teach this course, to help everyone to learn a good style of computer programming. Because a lot of people can program computer, but the quality of the program is very bad. It's very difficult to understand what goes wrong and very difficult to debug or to change them. So we want to try to learn computer programming so in a way for like an industry where you might write a program, someone else is going to have to use it for many years, and then later they will have to debug the program if there's some changes or update the program. We don't want to write sloppy computer programs. So that's the idea that I've been trying to work with. That's one motivation. The other motivation for starting this course is people like Ali, because I think without him learning computer programming, he will never graduate with his master's degree. So he was hoping going to learn by himself, but has not made very much progress on that. So So that's the other reason. So before we go any further, though, in the class, I would like us to spend, a little bit about me now, my background in computer programming, where I've lived. I have worked. I grew up in Canada. I did my master's in the USA in Chicago. I did my PhD in Canada. I then went to Japan and worked for 4 years for a Japanese company called Fuji Electric. Fuji is very famous for robotics, so robotic systems. After that, I spent about 3 years in China working, and then after that, and then moved to Malaysia for 4 years. So when I came to Malaysia is when I first started to teach. And then after that, I've come to Taiwan and have been here since I came to Taiwan. And now I've been at Yangtze University for most of my time in Taiwan. That's a little bit of background about me. I'd like to. I'm going to ask you to share a little bit about each person's background. So maybe we could start with Mazoon. Can you share us a little bit about your family background, how you ended up in Taiwan, etc.?
Yeah, Professor, I just come from Pakistan. My uh, university study was in University of Azad Jammu and Kashmir, Muzaffarabad, as a software engineer. I just got graduated in 2016. Then I just moved to a job and worked as a game developer for one year. Then moved back to my home city, Parachinar, and then started some teaching in a private school due to some family problem. And then in 2020, I just applied for my master, and I'm here in Taiwan.
Okay. And can you tell us a little bit about your research project? And
Yeah, I'm working on speaker visualization. We are just working on that project with Professor Jeff Hong in a program group.
okay, does anybody have any questions for Mazoon? Okay, seeing none. Okay, let's have Ali share a little bit about his background. Okay, so Ali where he came from and everything. Okay, I move out of the way
Sure.
since our internet is not working here.
Okay. My name is Gulsatar Ali. I'm from Pakistan, and basically I'm from Kohat city, um, which is like in KPK. So my education is not that strong because I start from my village. I passed eighth class from my village and then moved to Kohat city, and then I completed my bachelor in a private sector university, is like name of Preston University, and uh, because I never feel I will continue my education in future, but my friends start bachelor in well-known university, so then I feel like I should start I should continue my education. So my friend got admission in Taiwan University of Science and Technology, and then I feel I should apply to Taiwan universities. So I prepared my documents, and then I applied to many universities in Taiwan. And I remember I received email from Professor White. So at that day, I was so happy. So finally, I came to Taiwan, and can I tell my family background?
Sure.
Yeah. Um, I'm not that. I'm belong my middle class family. My father is like a driver in Bahrain. So right now he's home, and I'm support my family. So it's my the exam. And my project is like we are working in um, especially is my part. I'm working with actigraphy and waste pad to improve the sleep for the dementia patients.
Okay, thank you, Ali. Okay, Carlos, can you share a little bit about yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Carlos and I come from Hong Kong. Right now I'm electrical engineering year 3 in group C. No, I didn't do any research for that. So that's all.
You are doing bachelor master
Oh,
or
sorry. Okay, he's undergrad.
oh you are under okay, okay.
Okay, and finally we have Ansari.
Uh, Hello everyone, I am from Nepal and I am Ajaruddin Ansari from Nepal. I did my school level achievements up to class 10 in my on the I plus 2 in science, but I failed in my class 2 and I lost 2 years in that in completing plus 2. Meanwhile, it was very upsetting for me that everything was like every door for me was closed. But after passing my plus two, I chose biomedical engineering and I studied in India, Chennai, in Tech University, where I worked hard and able to achieve many things, many small things, not that big. Uh, by the way, I did my final year project in YJDU, in under Professor White. Uh, I in biomedical engineering, it is an interdisciplinary course, so I also learned some basic about programming and I ended up with doing programming in my research work or the final project. And it was basically to control the LEDs light to throughout 24 hours so that the person suffering from dementia can get can restore their bad quality of sleep because their sleep get disturbed when they suffer from dementia. So this and now uh, I'm in YJDU for my masters. Still not in Taiwan, but hope I'll be there very soon. Thank you.
Okay, so in summary, then we have Carlos from Hong Kong, Mazoon and Ali from Pakistan, and Ansari from Nepal. We also have another student who's not here, App from India, and I think and a couple other students, but I'm not can't remember. Okay, them. Okay, so that's basically what we have for our class for this class. Okay, good. I want to now talk a little bit about. So in this course, we are going to try to go from basic to as advanced as possible. So we're going to basically almost like start at the very beginning. So probably for the first, if you, so probably for the first 3 weeks, people like Mazoon, Ansari, it's all stuff you already know. So the first 3 weeks will basically be okay, like review, you know what you're doing, but hopefully you'll get the sort of style of programming that I like to program with. Okay, that may or may not. Okay, so let's so I'm going to start with a short introduction. I'm going to, okay, as soon as I can share my screen, share screen. Come on, go. Why are you not started? Huh? It should start. All right, huh? Oh, okay, start on a different, okay, it is here. Okay, great. Okay, so welcome to EO 528. The we call it coding alchemy. Why do I call it alchemy? Because coding is not just science, it is also art. So I think writing a computer program is not just, like scientific writing this A B C D. It also involves art. So so I think we want to combine the art along with the science together. So our goal is to try to think about how to program basically using C and UML based ideas. So we're going to learn a little bit about UML too as we start. Okay, so we're going to, in context, this is basically how I originally thought courses in NC University used to. Question? Okay. So questions at Yenza University, basically there was we had one course on basic understanding of computer operation, another one on some basic programming, maybe with C, maybe with Python, maybe with something else. And then the third course is this one. Okay? Generally the flow for our department.
Professor, your screen is still not sharing.
It's not sharing?
No.
Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. It's recording but not sharing. Okay, I got that. Oh, that's my problem. Okay, sorry about that. Share entire screen. This guy, share. Okay. Are we okay now?
Yeah, Professor. No, it's okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Ansari, or whoever, or Mahood. Sorry, your voice is very similar. Yes. So welcome to our class, coding alchemy. Alchemy gives the idea that this is also art, not just science. We're going to hopefully learn about ANSI C and UML at the same time. If you're going to write about your code in a thesis, you should usually include a UML diagram. So we should have to be able to write those when we try to explain how our codes work. All right, so this is I just putting it in context. In our department, we basically have one course that originally gives you some basic understanding of computer operations. A second course that just some basic programming skills with either basically working with ANSI C or with Python, depending on who taught it. And then this course. Okay, so now,
Can you please guys close the mic?
Okay, so some questions you might want to ask yourself. Why this computing course? Why do we want to use C? What do we mean when we talk about algorithms? What do we mean when we talk about data structures? How do they relate? What are we going to try to learn? What are we going to try to study? What is involved? Who am I? How is the class organized? So you already know a little bit about me, so that's okay. So let's talk about why another computing course. Assuming you have a first one. In most computing courses, the goal is to learn a computing language. Okay? To learn how to program in C, to learn how to program in Python. That's the goal, is to learn how to program. In this case, the program should become the tool. We want to learn how to use the tool to solve problems. Okay? So the idea is we're trying to learn how to use C and how to make use of C and UML to solve problems. Not just learn what they are, but to learn how to use them to solve problems as a tool. So that's why that's what our focus is. So from goal to tool. So, of course, with a very basic programming skills, you can make a house. If I have just a standard saw, I can make a house, I can build a house. No problem. But I probably will do it much faster if I have an electric saw. right? A machine stop. It will help me to do the things much faster. That's what we're trying to do here, is to try to move from just, okay, I can get this to work, but let's make it work elegantly. Let's do it quickly and efficiently, do our coding. Why am I choosing to do this in C, or ANSI C to be exact, is because so many other languages are based on C. Borland, Visual C, C Sharp, Java, C++, CUDA, JavaScript. All these are based on ANSI C, and you will see structures that are very similar to what were first developed in C, and then they're used in other languages. So I've written some JavaScript code. It looks identical to my C code. You can't really tell the difference between the two unless you knew that I was writing in. You can look at parts of the code. Unless you knew I was writing, it was a JavaScript code, you could equally think it was a ANSI C code. So I think C is so basic to everything. So if you know C, you can learn Python. You can do any other programming language. But if you know Python, it's difficult. It may not be as easy to go back to C. So C, it's old. It's a very old language. 1972 is when it was first came out. So next year will be its 50th birthday. Right? So it's kind of cool. Not many things are left from 50 years ago. Right? Computer architecture has changed. So many things have changed in 50 years. C is still here. Okay. It's used for device control. It's used in Arduino, right? For doing chips and small circuits. C is being used for that. It's used when we want to be fast. If your main goal is to have code that is very fast, then you will want to use C. And it's the most common language used for writing operating systems. For example, Linux is written in C. Unix is written in C. And finally, as I say, these other languages, C++, Java, C Sharp, all have C at the heart of them. If we consider why ANSI C, or because ANSI means American National Standards Institute C. So it's a standard version of C I'm wanting to learn. Yes, you use many extensions or additional things to make your C program, but if you write in ANSI C, you know it will run on basically it will compile with any C compiler, and your program will run on any operating system. Okay? Moving from, as long as you're in ANSI C, it should run on everything. Okay, that's why we are working on this. And other flavors would be based on ANSI C, okay? Whether it's Arduino C, etc., are all based on this ANSI C. Okay. Now, what are algorithms and what are data structures? That's the next step we're going to get. So once we have got our basic C programming, we're then going to start to see about how do we structure our data and how do we write our algorithms. And they're very related. The way you decide to structure your data or organize your data is going to determine how you run your algorithm and how you write your algorithm. The way your algorithm is made is going to influence how you want to structure your data. Okay, so it's sort of like a chicken and an egg. Which comes first? How do I structure my data, or how do I write my algorithm? Because each will affect each other. Generally, we should try to think about that before we start writing our program. Or, like with Ansari's been recently working on some neural network evaluation function. We need to change this data structure at the very end because to fit the way our algorithm is working and the information we needed to change the data structure, so we need to rewrite parts of the code because we did not think clearly at the very beginning what we needed to put in our data structure. Okay, so It has been said it's impossible to understand data structures without understanding the algorithm that make them work. It has also been said it's impossible to build an algorithm without knowing how the data is structured. Okay? So these are two conundrums. So algorithm will work on UML to write our algorithms. If we define what an algorithm is, it's basically a finite sequence of steps. Each step consists of a number of operations. Each operation is one, rigorously defined and unambiguous. It's perfectly clear. It can be executed by a machine. Okay, so this is a definition of a computer algorithm. It has to be able to be executed by a machine. Okay, an example of an algorithm is a bread recipe. Okay, recipes are the closest thing to algorithms that we see in common usage. If you go to a Western recipe book, it tells you need to prepare these things. Put 2 cups of flour, add 1 tablespoon of baking soda, add 1 cup of water, add 1 tablespoon of salt, add 25 milliliters of sugar. You put those together, then add yeast, 50 milligrams of yeast. So each thing could be done by a machine. You dump them in. Next step, mix everything together. Okay. Leave mixed bread for 6 hours. And so you just leave it for 6 hours. After 6 hours, you come back, the bread has become expanded. And then you say, after 6 hours, bake at 200 degrees Celsius for 2 hours. You do that, and then you get your piece of bread, your bread comes out. This is a finite sequence of steps. Each step consisted of a number of operations. In other words, first step, prepare the batter. And then each operation, take this, take this, take this, take this. Next step, wait for the loaf to, the yeast to take weight, and how long you wait. And then start to cook in the oven, how you need to do that. So this would be an algorithm. We can express these in UML. It's this language that we want to use to write algorithms. UML stands for Universal Modeling Language. So again, a crucial thing for us to learn. Okay? So now let's move on to what a data structure is. A data structure is a way of organizing data. Okay? How do we organize the data? And secondly, constraining how the data is manipulated. For example, here are 2 ways of organizing data. Okay? I have names of students in my class. John, Ian, Ali, Ansari, blah, blah, blah. And then I have another organization, the marks for the course. 55, 95, 98, 33. So that way of organizing them, in one area I've got the names of people in my classroom, and I've organized the marks. Another way of organizing data would be to link the name and the mark together. So John, 55, Ian, 95. Okay, so I've now structured the data, so I've got a structure that contains a student's name and the mark. Student's name and the mark. This way, I've got a structure that contains all the students' names and another structure that contains all the students' marks. So you can see if I try to structure my data this way, I could easily make a mistake and give John's mark to Ian and Ian's mark to John. This way, structuring this way, I cannot make that mistake. 55 is stuck with John, Ian is stuck with 95. So I cannot, by structuring in this way, I can avoid making mistakes and errors in my program. Okay? So this is why we want looking for data structuring to help us constrain. Okay, how do they relate to each other? So the quality of the program directly related to the quality of the algorithm and the quality of the data structure used. Okay, we've got that. So, but best data structure and best built algorithm may not make the best program. Okay, so to have a good quality program, you need to have a good algorithm and a good data structure. But the best data structure and the best algorithm may not make the best program. For example, I'm going to use my allegory. Okay, I've got this beautiful, handsome man. I have this beautiful girl, but they may not actually be fit together, right? They may, their personalities may be very different. Even though they are both good and nothing wrong, but their habits and their lifestyle is too different. So if they come together, it will be a disaster. Similarly, these may be a more average couple, average man, average woman, but you can see their likings are similar. They fit together, so your program so their marriage would likely be happy and work out well. These other two, probably not. So similar with our programming, we need to make sure our algorithm and our data structures fit together. If they don't, we will have, the program will work, but it will be awkward. So in this course, we're going to basically learn how to organize data, how to build some algorithms. This is in the first part after we do our C stuff. And then we'll try to work them together, how to make a workable marriage. That's basically what we're going to be concentrating on. And we're not, okay, this part is not important. Okay, don't need to talk about me. Okay, all right. That's basically all on those guys. How's our time doing? Good, okay. Our next step is I want everybody to, any questions at this point? I'm going to stop share screen for a second. Stop presenting. Okay. Okay, am I presenting still? I've stopped?
No, dear.
You are still
I'm still in presenting mode. Okay, stop sharing. Have I stopped now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, great. Okay, are there any? Oh, hello, Renee.
Hello.
Welcome. Okay.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to have you introduce yourself in a second, but I'll quickly introduce other people who are here. Okay. First of all, beside me is Ali Gul Sattar. He is from Pakistan, and his internet the internet is not working on his computer, so he is stuck beside me. Okay. Here we have on the top left, we have Mazoon. Mazoon is also from Pakistan. We have Ansari. Ansari is from Nepal. And Carlos is from Hong Kong. Okay, Renee, can you introduce where you're from and a little bit about your history? How are you ending up in Taiwan? I think you have a very interesting pathway, an interesting story, I think, as you've sort of been going all around the world.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much, Prof. So, my name is Lamin Renilua, and I'm from the Gambia, West Africa. My bachelor's degree was in physics, and I'm currently living in Indonesia. Well, what else? What else? Can you hear me?
Yeah. When do you hope to come to Taiwan?
Hopefully soon. I'm just waiting for some information from the international office that I'm not sure of. But hopefully soon, if I get the information from them, it's a little bit of a concern, I guess. That's why. But I should have been there like last week, if possible.
Okay, you should have been here last week. Okay.
Yeah. But then I'm still waiting on the international office to get their response about the concern that I have so far.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, I hope everything works out on that.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, good. Oops, sorry, just turned my mic off. Sorry about that. Okay. So welcome, Renee, and welcome to everybody. Okay, I want to now talk. Okay, so our next topic we're going to start is I want to make sure everybody has the same compiler and editor installed on their computer for doing C programming, because there are many different editors and compilers. So I want us to sort of walk through the installation and make sure that everybody has the same programs installed on your computer so that we are working with the same program. So you have your computer in front of you, Mazoon, right? Yes? Ali is going to get his computer, I guess. Good. And bring it across. Okay, maybe that's probably a good idea. We'll take a 10-minute break while Ali gets his computer, okay? And we'll come, okay, 10-minute break for Ali to get his computer, all right? So we will start again in 10 minutes, okay?
Okay, bro.
Okay, we're SDBA tools, compiler editor installation. Click, and let's go there. Okay, and I'm going to go. Okay, are we all here now? Let's share the whole screen, make it bigger. Okay, so we're at this compiler and editor installation to a first program. Okay? So I'll quick check with you guys. You guys are all here now? Anybody missing?
Yeah, we're here, but can you please share
Not
the
yet.
website name to others?
Just a moment.
Okay. Okay, I can put, oh, that's actually a good idea. I can share that. That's a good idea. On the chat. Okay, good idea. There we are. Okay. Okay, is that okay? I share it in the chat, the actual position.
Now everybody can visit it.
Okay. Okay, so our goal was to go from compiler installation to first program. So first of all, okay, let's do a first overview, because these things are usually together, but I think we have to make sure we think of them separately. In order to program in C or in any other language, you need both a text editor and a compiler linker. Now, there are many available on the internet. Some are free, others have licensing requirements. In addition, a number of companies create what's called an integrated development environment, or IDE. An IDE combines a compiler and a text editor into one package. So it's one program you download. It's both the compiler and the text editor. Okay, so it's both the compiler, linker, and text editor all put together. An example of an IDE is Arduino. Arduino, it combines a text editor with the GCC compiler linker for C language in one package. So we have the GCC compiler linker for C along with a text editor together in one package. That's Arduino. Okay, but these can also be separate as well. So in our case, we're going to try to download separate ones. Okay, first of all, the text editor part. The text editor is what we interact with basically most of the time. For writing programs, we need a text editor. Windows includes a text editor with the operating system. It's called Notepad. Okay, so if we looked here, we got, right, Notepad. This app is a text editor. So what you write is just plain, okay, let's make format, font. I can change the font size it appears at, but it's not going to save any of that stuff. Okay, so like integer, main, void, okay, whatever you can write, you just write text. What you write is basically what it is, okay? This is a Notepad text editor. It is important to note, though, that, okay, cancel. The text edit, oops, I didn't want to do that. Okay, a text editor is not the same as a word processor, i.e. Microsoft Word. The word processor is for preparing documents for printing. So besides editing the text, the modern word processor allows the user to choose different fonts, margin sizes, line spacing, indentation, and many other details that affect the appearance of the document you are editing. These additional details are encoded in characters that are not seen on the user screen. Okay, so that's the word processor. In a text editor, you don't have these features. There's no way you can, so in this text editor, there is no way we can change the font. Everything will be the same font. There's no way I can make something bold. Okay? You cannot make something appear bold. Okay? So the text editor then is an application to edit files that just contain plain text without any information regarding how it should be formatted. Typical of the contents of this file include data that's going to be used by another application. For example, a CSV file is a text file that can be opened by a text editor. It doesn't contain any information about formatting, but it contains data that we want another program to read. The source code that a compiler will process or mark up text that a web browser will display. Okay, so for example, if I want, I can use my Notepad, as I say, to look at file, open, don't save, okay, let's just open something new. So I just grab any file. Okay, I can use my text editor on one of my, okay, I don't want to open everything. Okay, here I'm opening a text editor. Okay, now I'm opening this file. This is an HTML file. So by opening it in my Notepad, I can see everything that was in the HTML file. Okay, you can note that I cannot read it very clearly because it just tells me what characters and everything are in this file. If I want to look at what it actually looks like, I could then use it open in my browser. Where's my browser? Just a second. Why is everything going so slow on my computer? Okay. So in my browser, this file looks like this. Okay, so this is what the file looks like when I open in a browser, but this is the in text. So what I've seen in my Notepad is the actual text that the person has used to try to write this file. Okay, so it is just a plain text. Okay, let's close that. So that would be our text editor. This is what we need. Typically, okay, so in place of word processing features, a text editor may also contain features that allow the user to prepare and work with the text quickly and efficiently. For example, displaying comments and ANSI keywords in different colors. There are many free text editors available on the internet. So what text editor should I use? Well, we could use the built-in text editor Notepad. We can use to display only text. A better choice would be a text editor that recognizes sequences of characters that have significance in the computer language which they're writing the program. So in this case, most of my students, most people I know like Notepad++ because it's free and you can use it for ANSI. You can use the same text editor for C, HTML, JavaScript, CSS. So I suggest you click on this and load this into your, so maybe we can click and install this guy first, okay? Download the latest version, and we'll use Notepad for our course. So basically we're gonna find it, okay? Here's Notepad's the website, the home page for it, the download page. Let's go with the 8.14 release. Generally, we don't want, I don't know about what, so most of our computers are now 64-bit. If you're using a 64-bit computer on a Windows machine, just download the installer, okay? Use a 64-bit one. So I can install, downloaded, clicking. Yes. English, yeah, sure. Next. I agree. Next. Next. Install. Finish, and it will run it. Okay, so I just open something here. I can do File, Open. Okay. Okay, so can we take a little bit of time now and install this on your computer, work through it, make sure we have it installed okay. So Notepad is a free source. It's written in C++ too, okay. Okay. Okay, let me know when you have finished installing, okay? And it's opened okay. Carlos, are you okay? Mazoon, okay, Ma?
Yeah, Professor, I have already installed.
Good. Renee? Good. Ansari?
Sorry, Professor, I am using mobile to attend this
Okay, you're on
class
mobile,
session.
so cannot do. Okay, fair enough. Gul Satar? Ali? Okay, I will. Ali, do you want to share your screen? Ali, are you there? Hello, Ali.
Sorry, Professor. My computer is hanging now, so I can't access anything.
Okay.
You can see. I already installed it, so don't worry. I will
Okay,
install.
completing. Oh, finish. Okay,
You
finish
can
then.
see.
Okay, good.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Okay, good. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Good enough. Okay, so Ali's also installed but having some trouble. Okay. Okay, good. Okay. Hello. Um, who's just joining now?
It's me. It's my laptop. I was using my phone.
Okay.
Running. It's running.
Oh, okay. Your laptop and phone. Okay, very enough. Okay, good. All right. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right, good. Okay, let's okay, I will go back to sharing my screen again. Let's go, okay, entire screen again. Let's do that. Continue with entire screen. It seems to be straightforward. Okay, so we now have both Notepad and Notepad++. So if we look at the differences between the two, if I open the same file open, let's go with this, let's go with,
Excuse me, Professor. Have to share the screen.
it says it's sharing. Can we not see my
Yeah.
screen?
I can see now.
Okay. Okay, so, okay, let's open, something, okay, forget this text, all files. Okay, this is some CSS, okay, that's too short, not useful. Okay, let's try something else. Oh, God. Okay, and Notepad, okay. Okay. So I'll open with Notepad. Come on. Open some, okay. Let's get back to, okay, I'll go to, okay, I'm just going to open, I want all files, okay. So let's say I open, okay, a CSS file. Okay, so again, this is the data that's in the CSS file. And I can open the same thing with ++. Okay, did I get Notepad? No, I didn't do that. That opened the wrong one. Notepad, okay, there it is, ++. File, open. Let's go to my, okay. Okay. So this is the same file now opened with this Notepad++. So you can see some of the advantages of using this Notepad. It realizes this is a CSS file. So it can now sort of highlight. So like body is a keyword for CSS programs. H1 is another key, H2. So these are in different colors. This is a keyword. It'll help you very easily tell your mistakes, right? Text align center. Okay, let's say I accidentally made a mistake and do text this way. It will turn black and I realize I've made a mistake. So in this case, this sort of an editor allowed me to see, okay, everything looks normal. There's my comment. It's in green. Okay, good. And everything is basically okay. So I can see and show things in color. So that's what we're trying to use Notepad++ rather than just using plain Notepad as our text editor. So that's the reason for this. It'll make it easier for finding mistakes. Okay, let's head back to, okay. Next, okay, now we can write our C program. We now need the compiler and linker. So what the compiler does is it translates our words into binary machine code that the computer can understand. That's the first thing, that's what the compiler does. The linker connects your C code with functions that other people have written or C code that other people have written. For example, there's no point rewriting functions that other people have done. For example, if you're programming in Arduino, probably 99.9% of your code has been written by other people. You just want to incorporate and grab their functions into your program. So you're basically doing only about 0.1% of the code. The rest of the code has already been written by other people. Similarly in C, in regular C that we'll be working at, most of the code as functions have already been written. So we need to link our functions with functions written by other people. That's what the linker does. So, so what compiler and linker should I use? First of all, if you're using Unix, Linux, and I guess an Apple computer then, you already have the new compiler collection. GCC is already installed on your computer. You don't need to do anything. For Windows, I suggest that we will use the MinGW port. So in other words, this is a port that allows you to run GCC on a Windows machine, as it's the best supported free compiler. Another port of GCC is the one used in Arduino. So that's another option. You can use the GCC port in Arduino. So basically everybody is using GCC. It's just how it's been copied into a Windows machine. But we'll work with the MinGW port because for this course. Maybe later we'll talk also about the Arduino port. Okay, so how do we install the MinGW port of GCC? Okay, let's do that. So first of all, we need to go to the MinGW home page. Click MinGW home page. Okay. Note it's SourceForge. Okay, and you can see how many people have downloaded it this week. Close to 4 million people. Wow. Okay, so MinGW, what it is, a native Windows port, the new compiler collection, free distributable import libraries and header files for building native Windows applications. All execute on all 64-bit Windows platforms. Okay, great. So let's just download it. As we wait for the download to start, okay. Okay, once we've downloaded it, no, I don't want to worry about that part, skip that. Let's just run the program. Okay. We will get the MinGW Installation Manager Setup tool. What we do is we want to, okay, install. Okay, I can get rid of this. We know we don't need this anymore. Okay, I'll get back to my, okay. So I'm now going to run running the installer file. Okay. Okay, so I'm asking you don't use this directory. Change the directory to this guy, SDBA, or create SDBA. So that we're going to go into install into C SDBA, okay? So this is just, you can also install in MinGW, but I have a few extensions for the course that I want to use that will install into SDBA. So I'd appreciate if you just install quickly into a directory called SDBAC, c.sdba. You can, don't worry about any of these guys. Okay. All right. Okay. Continue. Okay. I'm just going to reinstall. Okay, now it's starting to download and setting it up. This will take a little bit of time. Okay, so everything's downloaded. Okay, hopefully no errors. We have no errors here. Good. Let's continue. Okay. All right, so we should now have this. This should be our screen we should be able to see now. You want to make sure you select MinGW32 base. So this is the one you want, is this guy. Okay, you don't need anything else. So you can see here, if we want, we can also install an Ada compiler. We can also install a Fortran compiler. We can also install a C++ compiler. We can also install an Objective-C compiler. We can also do some other installations for developers, etc. We don't need any of those things. Okay, so we're going to install this guy. So you've got this guy checked. Then you need to go to installation. Oops, sorry, that's not the one I wanted to do. Okay, sorry. I click there, installation, apply changes. Once you've applied, and then when you've applied changes. After you apply changes, this should, yeah, because I've already got it installed, so I can't really do too much. So basically, after you apply changes, maybe I'll install Ada too. Okay, so I mark it for installation as well. Okay, all right, so apply changes. Once you've applied changes, it will start to download. Okay? Okay, I basically finished that. Okay. All right, let me know when you, okay? If you did not change the directory name already from MinGW to SDBA, do it after the download finishes, okay? All right. Let me know when you guys have finished that, okay? Okay, sorry, okay. Just a sec, I'll bounce back to that, make sure, yeah. Sorry, Carlos, where am I? Okay, sorry. Should the, yes, the basic MinGW. Yes, Carlos. Yes. Okay. So let me know when the MinGW has finished the installation. Okay. Okay. Mazoon, Ali, Ansel, Rene, have you been able to finish the download? Oh, hello, app. Welcome.
Hello.
Just noticed you now.
Okay.
Okay, so we're now just downloading the
Yeah, I have finished.
Okay, good. Okay. We're just making sure we download this and then MinGW. Okay. Then we will, after we get this installed, then we will just quickly okay. I should check. So you run, okay. Sorry. Okay. Ali, Carlos done, good. Mahoon is done too, right? Ali, Carlos, Mahoon have finished. Renee and Ansari able to or not? Or a problem? Okay. Okay, Renee, are you okay now? Okay, answer is already installed. Okay, good. Everyone's done. Okay, great. Okay, let's continue on. The next thing I want you to download is just these couple of files that will make it a little bit easier for us to work with. So these two files, so I click to download them. Shouldn't be very... Allow. Oops, I hit it twice. Okay, that's a problem. So I just want to then show in folder and where as I go, okay. These guys, just take everything, Control C, and put them into your folder. SDBA. Okay, Control V. Okay, replace, okay. Okay, and that should basically finish all we want to do here. Okay, so let's, okay, so you can do that copying now, please. Okay, I download, okay, course specific files. This guy right here. Okay, yeah, just, and then okay. Okay. Send me a note when you finished. Okay. 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 You can see where to click on. Carlos? Can you see where to click on the main thing? Right. The course specific files. Right. Um, and does it download to this MinGW.zip? Do you have this on your computer? Show in folder. Actually, so it should be in downloads. If you clicked on it, should come into downloads, MinGW. Can you find the zip file? Okay, okay. When you okay, I'll try to show that on my screen, okay? Should be in your directory SDBA. So it should end up looking something like, I'll get rid of these extra files that are stuck there. Johan, I don't need that one there. But you should be able to zip them into here. So once you unzip them into this guy. There. Okay, so yeah, you want to put them in directory SDBA. Okay, okay. Okay, okay, yeah, okay. Okay. Okay, can you share your screen, Carlos? I will stop sharing. So, Carlos, can you share your screen? Okay, good. Okay. Yes, put it in this directory. Put it in this directory. Good. Okay, good. Close it now. Good. Now, okay, let's see that directory again. We're not yet quite finished. Okay, go up one. MinGW. Go up one to OSC. Go up one level in your directory. Change MinGW to SDBA. Rename SDBA. Good. Good. Now go back to SDBA. Okay, good. So you now see the icons have changed color, correct? Right? Good. Everything looks correct now. Good. All right, good. Yes, correct. Okay. All right, now, okay. Renee, are you okay? Are you okay, Renee?
Not really. I think I have to download the first software that you guys downloaded. I think I missed that one.
Oh, okay. Do you want to? Can we share your screen?
Uh, can I do it in the next 10 minutes, please? Like, I'm at the store right now.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, we'll just continue on then. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough. Okay, so
Thank you.
all right. So what I'd like you to do now, we want to check to make sure everything is installed correctly. So you should. Oh, share my screen. Sorry. Okay, so this is the way my. Oops. Sorry. Okay, good. Okay. Close this side. So this is the way my directory structure looks. As you can see, it's basically got local SDBA. Can you see this at all? Can you see this clearly? Can you see my screen clearly, or does it look very cloudy?
It's a little bit cloudy.
Okay, I'll try sharing slightly differently then. Just a sec. I'll stop sharing. Okay. Now I'm going to share a window. Let's try. Oh, I got too many of these guys open. This guy, okay. Is this clearer now?
Yes, Jim.
Okay, good. So you should have your local directory will be SDBA. If everything is correct, you'll be able to get a nice icon. NCC will stay right here. Okay? And I should have a few other programs here. Did I actually erase a program that I want? Just a second. I think I actually might have just erased the program I want. Just a second. I'll try to see what I did here. I think I goofed up. Just a minute. Just a sec. Okay, you should have one file here, welcome sdba.c. So let's first of all click on the ANSI C one, and our goal now is to check to make sure our installation was successful. Okay, so we're going to go through that right now. So click on ANSI CC, and I'm going to have to share my whole screen now in a second, okay? All right, you should get a warning message. And okay, I better share my whole screen. Sorry, stop sharing so you can see what you're getting. So, okay, you can now see my, okay, second you'll be able to see my screen. You're going to get, okay, let's close this. I will try it again. So you can see ANSI C, you'll click on it. Come on. You're going to get, you may get this message. Windows protected your PC. Windows Defender Smart Screen prevented an unrecognized app from starting. Running this app may put your PC at risk.
I never see this message.
Okay, click, if you get this, type run anyway. Okay, basically ignore it, okay. All right, and once you've run it, that will give you the command window. A second, I'm going to change this default properties. Just a second, I'm going to change my command window a little bit. Okay. So this is going to give you a command window, SDBA. Okay. We're at this point. Now I want to test to make sure everything's installed correctly. So I have created this little C program, welcome.c. So if I open with Notepad++, I can see what's in this program. It's just a short little program I wrote to make sure everything runs correctly, the test. Okay, it's a C program, it's going to print some stuff, that's all. Okay, so we're going to now check to see if we can create this. First of all, we want to convert this written stuff into binary. Okay, so I want to type GCC. GCC means run the new compiler collection. Okay, next I need a flag. This flag says this is a C program. If I minus A would mean this is an ADA program. Minus C++ would mean it's a C++ program. Minus F would mean it's a Fortran program. Okay, so I'm telling it what language my program is written in. I'm saying, okay, compiler, this is C language, this program is written in C. Okay, now I want you to, and then this is another flag, I want you to check to make sure it is standard C. Okay, so I put this little flag ANSI to say it's going to be standard C. I don't really need this. Then I need to give the file name. So in this case, my file name is sdba.c. That's the file name of the file. Okay, are we We're following, okay? So if everyone can do that, and then we just enter return. And if everything works out okay, you should see nothing. Only if there's an error will you see something. Okay? So it should just give you a new prompt. And yeah.
I'm getting like this.
Okay, I'm going to stop presenting. Why don't you share your screen?
Sure. Now you can see.
Okay, okay, let's see, you're an SDBA, okay, okay, I get this crazy pins thing, okay, you spelled the name of the file wrong. GCC minus C minus ANSI, well, you missed the letter C in your file name.
Okay.
Do you see? You see the mistake? It's WELCSDBA.C. Okay.
It's fine.
Correct. Successful. Okay, good. All right. Anybody else have any problem? Okay. All right, let's go to the next step. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen again.
Professor, is this meet? Hello, Professor.
Okay, yes?
Tell me,
I can hear
is this meeting being recorded?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, I'm
Professor.
recording. I hope, unless I did something wrong. Okay. Now that I've done that, my next step is GCC. Okay, so now everything is in binary now. So it's all in binary code. What I need to do now is to link the code that I just wrote to some other files that are, in particular, I have to link it to this file, stdio.o and stdlib.o. In other words, this has a function to help me do the printing to the screen and the stuff for working with my computer. So I give my new file name, sdba.exe. I'm going to call it this. I could also, let's just call it w.exe. Okay, and I need to put in the name of my .o. So if you will notice here that when you typed that before, you created a new file, this .o file. If I look at this .o file that we just created when we ran the first one, GCC minus C created this file. So if I open this with Notepad, yeah, it doesn't make a lot of, yeah, it's very hard. Yeah, it's got lots of stuff that we can't print on this that we can't see because there's a lot of binary characters. Some you can recognize, but not much. Okay. Okay, let's get back to our okay, so now I'm going to create, okay, assuming I don't have any problems. Okay, I should get no warning messages. You can see there, it just created SDB8. Now I've linked all my files together, and I now have another new file. New file, show me a new file, please. w.exe. So I now have finished, I now have my program that will run. So in order to run my program, all I need to do is to type W. And my program runs. Okay, you can check that, make sure your program runs. If your program runs, it means we've done everything correctly. Okay, where's my other thing I want?